in-depth analysis and insight behind the best available players. The upside.
Sanchez, he can make all the NFL throws, has accuracy on the move.
The high motor.
Garakpo, super athletic and incredibly strong.
The game changer.
Stafford has a rocket arm and can make all the throws that no one else can.
When your team's future's on the clock, we've got you covered.
The NFL Draft on ESPN, presented by Coors Light, begins Saturday at 4 p.m.
And welcome back to the Kegel Training Center here in Lake Wales, Florida for the PBA King of Bowling, powered by AMP. Today, they are bowling on the Scorpion oil pattern, Randall.
42 feet in length, Rob, and generally what happens is the players kind of start around the track area, and as it breaks down, they move towards the center part of the lane. We saw Wes Malott do that all season long, but today, I watched Norm Duke and Chris Barnes firing up first arrows, so it appears to be a little bit tight early on, but look for that big wheel, that big hook ball to start as the oil pattern breaks down.
Again, that's your Lumber Liquidators. Know the wood. And we begin with Chris Barnes.
Match one. Chris Barnes will open up on the left lane.
Finished third in the final Player of the Year point standings list. Had a chance to be first if he won at the U.S. Open. Lost in the semis to Mike Scroggins a few weeks back.
Yeah, but Rob, it was the way he lost when he gets up in the 10th frame, and he needs the first strike and a spare to win and move on to the title match. He leaves a solid 8. He needs to convert that, which he does, and then he needs to strike on a fill shot to tie and leaves a 10-pin.
See Wes Malott over there on the right side, taking in the action as the king. Here's Norm Duke, finished number 2 on the Player of the Year list.
Ed Strader is greater early on in the Scorpion pattern. Norm Duke and Chris Barnes doing just that. Rob, you ever seen that movie, The King and I?
No. I think I saw it maybe like at my high school. They did a rendition of it.
Okay, yeah, I never saw it either.
Bald guy in it, right?
I think so.
Not Telly Savalas, the other one. Duke in the second. I think it's fair to say that Stormin' Norman has the crowd on his side here.
You all right?
He's about an hour north of Lake Wales in Claremont, but Norm has fan following wherever he is. He could be in Anchorage right now, and he'd still have the Norm Duke signs out. Here's Barnes in the second.
Around it. We're going to be showing you location and speed throughout the matches from the CAT system provided to us by the Kegel Training Center. CAT stands for Computer Aided Tracking System. Rob?
I thought that was a play.
You thought that was a play. Okay. Strike spare for Barnes through 2. Duke perfect through 2.
Chris Barnes made 8 telecasts this season, tied for the king, Wes Malott, the tour lead for that. Was also your Harry Smith point leader. Captured 2 titles this season. Did it in Columbus, Ohio, and then followed that up a couple weeks later with another title in Norwich, Connecticut.
And Rob, I thought it was interesting when you asked Chris in the interviews, you know, last season you were Player of the Year. This season you just missed out. Which season was better? And he said this season. Even though he didn't win Player of the Year, he thought that he bowled much better this season for a number of reasons.
Pattern changes made it more difficult. He said the front half of the season was so slow for him. He had to kind of knock the dust off and get back at it. You could tell he's very proud without being boastful of this season. Here's Duke in the third. Opening 3-bagger for Stormin' Norman.
Those kickbacks are a glorious thing, aren't they?
I'm sorry you had to watch that.
Feathered that one up right around 6-7. 6 goes to the sidewalk, cuts the 10 out. Kind of looks like your bowling ball hitting the pins, Rob. A lot of power.
Yeah, a lot of shrapnel when I'm throwing it out there.
And there it is, Rob. That's all for you, my friend.
What do you do?
4 in a row or
a 4-bagger. See, it doesn't sound as good, right? That's why you got to yell ham bone. It comes from deep within, Randall.
From the diaphragm.
Mm. Lumber Liquidator PBA Tour titles for Chris Barnes, including 2 this year.
I believe he's already in top 10 in money for career earnings at 1.6, almost $1.7 million. This guy has been a cash cow since starting out on this tour. Oh, since 1998, Rob. Lots of cash.
Cash is king. $10,000 each time you win the role of king on this show. So Wes could win $50K. Barnes, another strike in the 5th.
Yeah. Left, right, slide.
Left, right slide, describing his footwork, which he didn't really like on that shot. But when you have a great arm swing like he has, a great hand, and you don't grab it at the bottom, you can still strike.
Duke looking to open up with 5 straight. Yahtzee!
Hey, you might have to bring them all out for this match.
I may invent a few. And here's Norm on what was his biggest win this season.
Well, the World Championship, no question. It's the 3rd straight major in a row. I mean, that's probably the biggest event of my career. There have been others that I would put, right there in the same, on the same level. But for that to be number 3.
Okay, 7-pin. That's all right, as long as the 10's not standing with it. No messenger. No nothing.
Nobody loves the messenger
like you.
More than this guy.
That's exactly right.
Norm cleans that up. So Barnes, Duke, 5.5 done. The other 5.5 on the backside. The winner to take on the benevolent King Wes Malott the first. The conclusion of Barnes Duke when we return to Lake Wales.
This is a photo of our first Lumber Liquidator store. We didn't have a fancy showroom or an expensive location. Our goal was simply to provide great hardwood flooring